are Confessional Magazine, and this is More to the Story, brought to you today by Iris and Bo, whose toner helps keep my laugh lines in check, because you never know what our guests are going to say. Visit irisandbo.com today and use code CONFESSIONAL for 20% off.
So much love in this heart of mine.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Confessional Magazine. I am Taylor. This is More to the Story, and we are joined here today with a wonderful human being, and I just can't wait to get to know his story a little bit better, and his name is Oliver Saunders. Thank you so much for being here today, Oliver.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So we probably most recognize Oliver from his mom being Garcelle Beauvais, who is on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and she kind of introduced us to him a little bit. We see your picture in the intro, but we don't really know you. And I know you have this whole music career going on, and you have your new podcast going on, and you just have all this growth, and your journey is just something that needs heard and shared. And I just can't wait for people to connect with you on a deeper level. So
thank you.
Okay, I don't even know where to begin with this because there's so much to unwrap.
There is a lot. One thing. My mom's last name is Beauvais, just so you know.
Beauvais. Pronounced. Darn it! I got your name right,
and
then
then
I messed up hers.
It's 1 for 2. It's all good. Her name is French, so it's easier to mess up. So don't even worry about it.
The only thing I remember from taking French in high school is how to ask to go to the bathroom. So
there you go. That's a pretty good question to know. In any
get you out of class.
Right. That's hilarious.
So, Oliver, growing up with Garcelle as your mom, I know that had to have been just interesting to have a mom that's in the spotlight. And what was your journey like before you found this passion for music on your own?
Having a mom in the spotlight has always been it's always been normal to me. You know what I mean? So basically my mom was already modeling and acting and stuff before I even came around. So I was just, it was just normal to me. And my mom just treats it like it's a normal day job and everything like that. So growing up with that was super cool because we would go places and people would recognize her and everything like that. And she would take pictures and sign autographs and everything. So I knew that she was an actress because we always talked about it and everything, but it was just cool to see how many fans she has and how much people have love for her and how much love she has for her fans as well. Like that's always something that's always stood out to me with my mom. And so growing up was cool. Yeah.
And then, so you entered this world of music and you have your music videos out and you're rapping and all this stuff. So when did you start on your musical journey? When were you like, you know what, this is the route that I can take?
So I started writing music when I was 7 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've always had a passion for music. That has always been my thing. I just love it. I've just always gravitated towards it. I like poetry. I like writing poetry. And so rap is just poetry on beats and stuff like that. And so it was just right up my avenue, and I remember watching music videos and stuff when I was young, and I was just like, oh, that's it. Like that's it. That's it. And so, it's been a passion since I was 7. I've done a lot of things. I've done a lot of shows and opened up for a lot of people, Talib Kweli, Nipsey Hussle, Questlove. It's just always been my passion.
Yeah. So when you're writing, where do you pull your inspiration from? Do you find the beat first or are you doing the words first?
I find the beat first, and it usually comes to me when I'm driving around in the car. So I'll put on a beat that I get from a new producer or something like that, and I'll just drive around with it, and I'll just sort of think about, just think about things, and it's usually not the first thing that I think of. Sometimes it is. But sometimes I'll come up with an idea and I'll start writing that song. And then the next time I get in the car, I'll put on the beat and I'm like, no, that's not it. It's got to be this,
Uh-huh.
Hear it for a little bit and then it just flows out,
Yeah, it's great. And I know you just released a new music video, didn't you?
I did. I just released a video called West with my production team. Shout out to Ali O'Brien. We've been just putting together singles and videos because last year I dropped 2 albums. So I dropped an album called Might As Well, which is on all music platforms. I dropped an album called Blue, Born Loved Unconditionally as well. And so now we're just focused on dropping visuals with singles and getting people to know me more and getting people to see the music and see the videos come along. So it's an interesting process. I love it though.
It's probably so exciting to see this all come to life too.
It is. And so I like I said, I've been rapping since I was 7. I used to go by the name Jason Rose. And as we get into the interview more, you know, I was making the wrong choices and doing a lot of the wrong things as a child, and even you know, more recently, like, you know, a couple years ago. And so once I came into my new self, which is, you know, sober, dad, Oliver, just all about responsibilities, handling business and stuff like that, I decided that my old name had to change because I don't live that lifestyle anymore. I'm not a part of that lifestyle. I don't participate in any of that stuff anymore. And so that's when I came up with By Any Means. And so it's been like a year. It's been like almost a year and some change that I started the new Instagram. I started all these new videos. I started everything. So just in that year time, I've seen a lot of growth, and I'm super excited for the direction that we're going in for the future.
Absolutely. And what I just have to say, congratulations on your journey of sobriety. That's not easy.
Thank you.
Thank you. And it's really important to speak on that topic because so many people are affected by, you know, the life of drugs, or you get pulled into it, you make one wrong choice and then it can, yeah, it can domino effect. And so how are you able to, you know, pull yourself out of that place?
My wife and my son. That's it. Like it was one of the craziest things. I mean, for years I had been trying to fight it. I had gone to rehabs, I had talked to people, therapists, all type of stuff like that. And even though I told myself and I felt like I was ready to stop and I wanted to stop, it was easier said than done. You know what I mean? And then I swear it was God and my wife and my son. And it was just one day, none of that stuff mattered. None of that stuff mattered at all. You know what I mean? And it was just like, yo, you got to do it. And there was a rough time, you know. I have over like a year and some change that I've been sober, you know. And I mean, I've seen myself be so much more productive, so much more successful. I'm there as a father, I'm there as a husband, you know what I mean, a stepdad. And it's like, I wouldn't have it any other way. And I don't know it was just amazing the way that it happened. Like it was meant to be, you know. I had a responsibility that's bigger than me and people that are relying on me, you know? And so it's not even a question to me. I had to cancel out people that I hung out with. I had to stop going places that I hung out with, and I'm rebuilding completely, and I love it. It's been amazing. You know what I mean? It's been amazing. There's definitely harder days than, easier days than harder days. But as long as I keep my eyes on the prize, I know that this is what I need. This is what I want, you know?
It's like a rebirth of yourself. When your son was born, it kind of,
it's a trip, because it's just like, wow, like this little person is relying on me to teach them things, to show them the way, you know. And it's like, they don't only pick up on what you say, they pick up on what you actually do, you know what I mean? And so it's like, I have to lead by example, you know. And I mean, my son, he couldn't have came at a better time. I love him so much. Like, it's so, I can't even explain it. Like, you know what I mean? It was the best thing that I've ever done with my life. That I'm so happy about it. It's amazing.
I mean, and he's blessed to have a father that is so dedicated to turning himself around for the love of his child. Thank you. So with that, I know that you've also recently started a podcast about fathering and parenting and all of this stuff, because your wife had 3 children.
Yes.
Before you got her. So now you're playing the stepfather role, and you've stepped in and you've taken that and you've stepped up to the plate. So it's been a whole, I mean, I didn't know you obviously, like when you were going through the down parts of your life, but I've been following your journey quietly from the sidelines for a bit now. And it's been really fun and refreshing and just bright. You could just look at you smiling and you just know it's real and genuine, and you're finding your truth in life.
It was a rough time. I mean, if you would ask my mom, like, there was times that I'm sure she wanted to just, you know, scream, pull her hair out, you know what I mean? And yeah, I'm so happy that we're on the other side of it. Like, I have the closest relationship with my family now that I've ever had. Like, I talk to my mom, my dad a couple times a day, you know what I mean? I'm going to actually be in Los Angeles this weekend to go for 4th of July and everything. Like, I'm going to be able to take my little brothers out to lunch, dinner, you know what I mean? it's just so amazing the turnaround and everything. But yes, I did start a podcast called Bigger Than Us. I feel like people love to talk about fathers when they're absent in kids' lives, especially Black fathers, unfortunately. And so I wanted to just shine a light on dads that go over and beyond for their kids, no matter what their situation is. If they're a single father, if they're married, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Just fathers who have experiences and love for their kids. And because, I mean, this is, like I said, this is the greatest thing I've ever done. So I love sharing it with other people. I love hearing other people's experiences. I love, going to the park with my son and the kids and hanging out and seeing them interact with other kids and the parents. And, I just think we need more love in this world. And I think that's my way of trying to help,
Yeah, that true, genuine connection with other fathers that aren't necessarily on the same journey as you, but the fatherhood journey.
Right. Exactly. And it's like, I mean, I feel like it's just so relatable. You know what I mean? Everybody has kids and they love them and everything. And I feel like it can make you a better parent, because sometimes, I mean, I was talking to a guest on my show, and it's one of the episodes that's going to come out. And he was just giving me advice because his kids are like, teenagers already. So he's gone through the stages that I'm just going through now. And he was just giving me advice, and it was just so cool to hear it from somebody else who's already gone through it.
Mm-hmm.
So I sort of have a heads up. I could sort of think about things this way or bounce my idea, so it's great.
Yeah. So speaking of advice, what kind of advice would you, or will you be giving to Oliver, your son, as he grows, or Sam, or your son, as
Oliver
he
Jr.
grows?
Yeah.
And what advice will you give to him, so that, I mean, you can't control his choices, but as a father, you can be the beacon to kind of shine the way for him. So what kind of advice would you give him so that hopefully he doesn't, go down the same path that you took?
I'm gonna keep him a lot more busy than I was. I'm gonna keep him in sports or instruments or whatever he grows up and sees that he likes. I'm gonna get him in that and keep him busy. I'm gonna tell him, don't give in to peer pressure. Don't believe that when you're on a substance, it gives you this false confidence that you're doing things better than you normally could, or like you're getting things done better. And that's not the case at all. You know what I mean? And it's so crazy how much you can convince yourself. Like I used to say, oh, I can only write music when I'm messed up or whatever. And it's like, that's not the case at all. But so I just want him to know, you don't have to go into peer pressure. Dad's always got you. I'm always here for you. I'd rather you talk to me and ask me questions about something than just go try it yourself. I'll never get mad at you. You know what I mean? We'll just talk and figure it out. Like, I'm always here for you. And I just want him to be open and be able to be open with me. I feel like when I was growing up, there were a lot of things that I didn't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want to have a open line of communication with him always. Always.
That's amazing. And I mean, you're already setting this foundation that one day he's going to be able to look back and be like, I inspired my dad to start this podcast. I inspired my dad to follow his journey. Yeah. And that's so cool. It's just,
he has no idea. It's so funny because I mean, I look at him all the time and I'm like, he has no idea what's going on. You know what I mean? And it's just so beautiful, like I could have never expected this. If somebody told me, 2-3 years ago, you're going to have a son, your life is going to be completely different, I would have been like, okay, we'll see, but
right.
Yeah, it's such an amazing journey, and I'm so happy. I can't wait. I take videos of everything and pictures of everything. So later in life, I could show them and be like, yo, this is where we started. This is where we are. This is what you need to do to, I'm excited.
Well, I am just excited for your journey and for you, and just, you're such an inspiration for so many. I don't have kids of myself myself yet, but it's inspiring to know that there are people out there that, you hear stories of children in homes that don't have this surrounding love or something. And that is just heartbreaking. So it's so nice to have this connective piece of you putting out the good word that, like, there are dads out there that are going to step up to the plate and do all the right things. So how can people find you to follow your podcast and follow your music journey and all of that?
Okay, so if you want to follow me, you can go to my website, everythingbam.com, and it has links to everything. That's the easiest way to do it. It has links to my iTunes, links to my Spotify, links to the podcast. It has everything on there. One-stop shop. So everything, EVERYTHIN, BAM.com.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Oliver. It was such a pleasure to just get to know you a little bit better. And, you know, I can't wait to hear more of your music come out, and everybody just needs to check it out and follow you and follow your story and share, because it's just the positive vibes. We all need the love.
I appreciate you. And I agree. I agree with you. We all need the love, for real. Me included. You know what I mean? Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So you have a great day, Oliver. I appreciate you being here again, and I will talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you. Have a good day.
So much love in this heart of mine.